Welcome to Studio Soul, Newark's first black-owned sneaker consignment shop and footwear academy. September 2020, we're collaborating with the City of Newark and gaming app Aglet to see who can design the best sneaker in New Jersey.
As soon as I walk in the shop, I usually make sure everything is here. In here we got Taco, the little store mascot. She gets angry sometimes. She's like a little angry old lady. So she's been up here holding it down, scaring off all of the evil spirits. I organize the shoes, and usually I do that by color. I try to put the newest stuff or something that we just got in the front, and then I go sit in the boardroom and eat breakfast. And that's kind of how I warm up for the day. Before COVID-19, I was working like omni-channel operations is what they call it at Flight Club. But it was basically coordinating the stock for them. I got laid off from Flight Club April 2020. Yeah, April 1st, that was my official last day. Pretty much my whole department was who they fired. That I was kind of like, all right, what am I gonna really do to pay my rent? My parents, they've always been entrepreneurs. Some of the values that my parents instilled are you could pretty much do whatever you want as long as you can have the imagination to create it and you have a plan, you can accomplish that thing.
Even before the coronavirus pandemic hit, we had thoughts of, okay, maybe we need to change up just a little bit, because from what we were doing, let's say 2 decades ago, was starting to trend down. So we were going forward, but at the same time, we were transitioning from like sales and marketing to manufacturing to owning our own business.
COVID affected everything, you know. End of the day, it was hard to get things shipped. People that we had orders with, our accounts started to say we're not taking any additional orders. For us, it was really about education. How do we share this 20 years worth of knowledge that we have and make sure that it doesn't take the next generation 20 years to learn it, give them a leg up a little bit. So we started talking about the school. Well, actually, he said, I think we should open up a sneaker academy. And I'm like, okay,
The main goal when we created the class was to teach the younger generation the entire business. So we teach how to design shoes, we teach how to manufacture shoes, we teach how to market shoes, we teach everything from concept to reality on the shelf.
Here is one of the shoes that we made from the previous class, and a lot of the construction is pretty much custom. The main swooshes and toe box, they all changed. And so yeah, this is like some of the stuff that we work on in the class. 3D printed Air Force One that we worked with an instructor from NJIT to work with some 3D printed shoes. These are just a model, but they're made out of actually potatoes and I think rice. Here we got Jerry Gant, custom hard bottoms, exclusive retailer of Jerry Gant. Here we have some of the shoes we worked on as a license and some of the stuff that we worked on as a private label. So these are shoes that my parents and our family worked on actually. These are all of the different styles and colors and flavors that we had over the last year. I like the Nigeria Prestos. This new uniform pattern that they've been using for the Nigeria soccer team has been really hot, and it's been bringing a lot of attention to the stuff that's going on in Nigeria, honestly. These also, the Ghetto Gastro Jordan collab, which is just it's great to see a black creative agency work with Jordan, and it's pretty obvious. You got the Pan-African colorway one of my favorites, one of my dad's favorites in the store. As a response to like the protests and everything, this artist basically gave out this print to all the Black-owned businesses downtown Newark. This is literally from the protest. A lot of people just made the sign to be sure, like, hey, don't loot my store type of thing. We had a grand opening at the end of July, like the last weekend of July. The first few days and weeks were busy, and a lot of people were coming in just because we're a Black-owned business.
We appreciate the support tremendously.
100%. We wanted to keep the uniformity of Soul, S-O-L-E. And we had a couple different names that we tossed around, but that stuck so well. First week or two of us opening, somebody said, this is a cultural
This is like a cultural outpost, and it stuck. We were all excited because we were more focused on the school piece, which, we should be. And so we were like, ooh, there's cubicles, there can be social distancing, and we can do this whole thing. And RaShaad, the first time we brought him here, he was like, no. We thought we were gonna have like a school with a little bit of store. And he was like, no, it's gonna be a store with a little bit of school.
Right.
Building the shop and ripping up the carpet was probably the hardest part. Me and my dad and my Uncle Bill were coming here and like just doing straight manual labor for hours upon hours a day.
It was definitely a family thing, even though I was just kind of pointing, but.
But it was cool because we got to design the space at the same time.
And we knew we wanted something like super striking when you first walked in.
Right.
We couldn't figure out what it was until we started to talk to a friend of ours, an artist. His name is Matthew Purefoy, and he did this amazing mural.
So the art in the shop is all local Newark artists. 95% are all Newark-based artists.
He always says Newark is an ill-ass city.
And a lot of people don't know that. You understand what I'm saying? So that was one of the goals that we had opening the space, is to give everybody in Newark a fair shot at exposure.
Building the consignment into the shop it took probably most of my retail experience. We have to coordinate the shop and the online store, and they have to co-populate. So that was probably the first time I had to build a system that had to co-populate from scratch. We decided that we wanted to, open this business because of COVID, because of this social unrest. Newark in particular, there's no sneaker store that even caters to the Black community. So these are some shoes that we're giving away to the local community. There was some coats in here, but they've all been collected and dispersed for the holidays.
Community is important to Studio Soul because it's like family. The biggest thing about community is helping each other. And because we wanted to make sure that we were doing all of the things that we talk about.
Yeah, right. We're going to do our part.
Yeah, nobody's ever gonna say Dirty Souls didn't do their part or Studio Soul didn't do their part,
Facts.
It's very important.
As children, sometimes when you go outside to play, it was very common that you would be bare feet. You just play outside with no shoes and socks on. That was common back then in the South.
Yes.
And typically, let's say it's 80 to 90 degrees outside. So if you're outside playing and it's 80 to 90 degrees outside and you want to cross the street, as soon as you start crossing the street, the pavement, once you get about halfway there, you notice something when you don't have any shoes and socks on.
It's hot.
Right? So, once you get halfway, you're standing there and you start to realize, my feet are burning. So you have two choices. You're either gonna retreat and go back to the ditch or where the grass is, or you're gonna run to the other side. But you're not just gonna stand still and let your feet burn. So we were always taught, we don't retreat, we run to the other side. That's what we teach our kids.
Come show your soul in store today. Bang.